Have you been feeling guilt in some way, shape or form through this pandemic? I talked in the previous video about the different phases of unexpected change and in particular, the neutral zone. The neutral zone is where we are going from changing gears from reverse gear into first gear towards a new road and beginning, but don't know where to start. I'm finding a lot of clients appear to be in this zone at the moment, so I just want to spend a bit more time on some of the reactions we can see in this phase, in particular guilt, overload and feeling invisible. These come from a sense of uncertainty about the future. Today, I want to talk about guilt. I'm seeing two kinds of guilt during this pandemic. Guilt because parents have to shut the door on their kids so they can work, or for some guilt that they are doing better than others and in some cases are benefiting from the impacts of the pandemic. Some call this survivor guilt. As a psychologist and a leadership coach, can I let you know that if you're feeling either of these, it's okay and pretty normal. But like I've said with other uncomfortable feelings like fear and anger, we tend to implement coping strategies to deal with guilt that often make it worse. Like agreeing to things to keep the peace, such as kids being able to have more screen time or stay up later or eat what they want because we feel guilty for not being available. Or when any of our family members come into our office space, we get grumpy and short with them and then feel bad later. Or having to say no more often and shut the door. Try this. First, take a breath and allow yourself to feel that guilt for a moment. There is no magic pill for guilt. It is simply an indicator of how much you care. Be a bit kinder to yourself. This is a big adjustment for you too. And if you're working at home with kids or people who just seem to hijack your time every 5 minutes, try this. I've borrowed this idea from an interview I watched this week. Have a traffic light system set up either on the door handle or door or somewhere where your family can see where you are working. If you have little ones, they can get on this too, and it can be like a game. Get a red, yellow and green pen and pencil and make 3 circles or print an image of a traffic light out and make these circles. Red is for don't bother me unless the house is on fire or you're on fire. Yellow is for you can interrupt me, but I might ask you to come back later. A green is I'm available. Taking this ambiguity away from people helps them to know when they can interrupt you. Otherwise, they'll just interrupt you when it suits them. This also teaches boundaries. It lets them problem solve themselves, like find their own socks. There is so much good that can come out of trying this technique, but yes, you are still going to have to deal with those feelings of guilt when you have to say no. It's a red or yellow zone. Focus on how this technique is going to help them learn. And remember, happy parent, happy kids, and happy partner. The second kind of guilt is survivor guilt. And this is when you made it on the lifeboat while others got left behind. And if you're doing okay or even well as a result of the pandemic or are still gainfully employed, you may be feeling the survivor guilt. And again, this is okay. It's just an indicator of you care for others. This is where you need to challenge your mindset and see that you being employed or doing well is actually good news for the economy. If everyone is doing bad, that is bad news for the economy. I've also seen some businesses offer services for free. For example, I'm sharing a lot of my free resources doing these videos. However, I had to make a decision that I still need to charge for my services, or I could be another person on that lifeboat or off that lifeboat. If you're doing well, the best thing you can do is keep spending and paying for products and services. This is going to help us get to the other side of this. So if you're feeling survivor guilt, one strategy can be to help ways to find others. In my area, I signed up for the Care Army, which is to keep an eye on seniors in my local area who have been told to stay home or need groceries delivered. However, if that isn't for you, all you need to do is acknowledge that it's okay to feel that guilt. If you're looking for tailored help right now to help you and your team and be the leader that you want to be to get through to the other side of this pandemic, have a look at the links below to find out how you can do that.